Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm reviewing the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. As you can see, it's another sample pot. That's because this foundation retails for £34 per fluid ounce, which is your standard size foundation bottle. And they're quite willing to let you try a sample for a few days to see if you like it, which is what I recommend you do if you can for any of the more high-end foundations. It's more high-end foundations that do this, not really for drugstore foundations. They kind of just sell it by the bottle. So the website does show to have 25 shades and it looks like a decent shade range. There seems to be only a few dark shades and a few light shades, so if you're at either end of the spectrum it may be a little more difficult for you to find a shade that matches you. It is mostly middle shades, but that's fairly true of most foundations. So if they were to expand their shade range, you'd hope it would be to add a few more light and a few more dark shades. I have the shade 0, which is porcelain, and as you can kind of see, it does look fairly light, so I'm really hoping that this matches my skin tone. I'm going out today, I do not want to be an Oompa Loompa. So I'll insert some swatches here so you can see how the foundation compares to other foundations in my collection. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation in 0 Porcelain. This is the CYO Long Lasting Life Proof Foundation in 101. This is the NYX Total Control Cover Drops in Pale. This is the LA Girl Pro HD Illuminating Foundation in Fair. So the claims of this foundation are that it's a water-based, oil-free formula delivering undetectable coverage. Undetectable coverage? Like, mate, it says kind of it's supposed to be medium coverage. So that's fairly confusing. If it says undetectable coverage, you would think it'd be super light. It's supposed to be hydrated glow for the most natural skin-like finish. In addition to weightless, long-wearing coverage and hydration, the formula minimises the appearance of pores, conceals imperfections, and delivers broad-spectrum UV protection. This foundation is SPF 15, which is quite nice. In this country, you don't often need a higher SPF. If you like a higher SPF, then most people apply it under their foundation. This buildable formula goes easily from light to medium and is available in a wide range of shades for all skin tones. So it says light to medium coverage, so generally most people would wear this at medium. I think the problem they have there is if they say undetectable, I think they're meaning skin-like, but that's not necessarily how it comes across. So this foundation is supposed to kind of hydrate, moisturise, plump the skin. However, it's aimed at people from normal to oily skin, which is a little bit confusing. People with oily skin tend to want the foundation to be less kind of plumping and moisturising because their oils are going to come through in the day and do that for them. Normally people want something that is going to help control their oil. Not necessarily matte, but something that's going to help control the oil. And this doesn't seem to be one of the foundations that claims to do that. So I don't know why they say it's aimed at normal to oily skin. So if you like my foundation reviews, then please give this video a thumbs up. It would mean a lot to me if you could press that subscribe button at the bottom of the page, and if you turn on that notification bell, you'll be able to see it every time I upload. So if you want to see how this foundation wears throughout the day, then keep on watching. Hi guys, so this is supposed to be really nice and dewy, and that is what I want for today. I'm going out. I'm hoping this shade matches me because I'm going to wear it out anyway. So I have the shade Porcelain 0, and this one actually looks fairly light, not like the super light shades that Clinique think are super light. So I'm just going to take what's in the lid first and apply it to my face. This might be light enough. It looks very yellow. As you can see, this foundation is very liquidy, like I'm not even going to tip it up further than that because it's going to spill out. Oh, so as usual, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush on one side of my face and the Real Technique sponge on the other. This is blending really nicely into the skin, and the shade looks pretty good on me actually. It does look a touch on the yellow side, like I'm not sure that the undertone is completely correct. Because it's pale enough, I'm not as bothered about the undertone. Now this foundation kind of on one layer looks like medium coverage. I can still see a lot of my imperfections coming through. I think that I'd pop some concealer on those or just top up that specific area. But it looks fairly natural and skin-like. It's wearing really nice. It kind of looks like a little bit more of like some kind of airbrushed smoothing finish. I don't notice my texture too much. I would say on the brush side, it's more of like a semi-matte finish. I wouldn't say it's dewy at all, even though that's what the description claims it is. But then it also says it's for normal to oily skin, so you wouldn't expect it to be too dewy. That looks really beautiful. It looks even better on the sponge side actually. Like, if you can kind of see, it just looks far more natural, and it blends right into the skin. I don't feel like I'm using much more product, even though it is fairly liquidy. It looks really nice. This one has kind of a little bit more of a luminous finish on the cheeks. I would say it's less matte with the sponge. Again, I would say the coverage is medium with the sponge. I don't feel like it's improving the coverage at all with the sponge, but I prefer the finish, so I think sponge application is the way to go with this product. I wear this headband to get the hair off of my face, and I still somehow manage to get loads of hair stuck to my skin. It does look very nice, natural, skin-like. It's not settling too heavily into my forehead lines, which I like. But I think what I'm going to do, especially on this cheek here where I have more imperfections, I'm going to add a bit more foundation and see if it'll build up. So I haven't added too much, and only on the areas where I feel like I need more coverage. I don't have as many imperfections on this cheek, so I'm only going to put a little bit more on here. Just to build it up, just a touch. I feel like it's building really well actually. I'm not seeing my imperfections quite so much. I feel like it still looks fairly natural and skin-like actually. And I'm really happy with how it's built with the sponge. Now I still wouldn't say that area is super full coverage, but it's kind of a high medium now, low full coverage. I can't see the spots. I don't know how it would build up as a full layer, but I think though it builds up really nicely in that one area, so I don't see why it wouldn't build up nicely in other areas. I'm just going to build up now on little areas where I feel like perhaps I didn't put quite enough foundation. But also, I don't feel like this is a horrible shade match for me. It's a bit yellow. I'll definitely say this. The shade 0 is a bit yellow. And if you have very kind of pink undertones, this will be a problem. Mine are more neutral. It doesn't look too bad on my skin. But as you can see from my neck, I feel like I do look a bit on the yellow side. So I'm going to go and pop the rest of my makeup on, and I'll be right back. Hi guys, I applied the rest of my makeup and it's now about 11:30, so we'll call that the check-in time. So far, in regards to the foundation, I am liking it. I had to powder my cheeks to pop my powder products on top of, but otherwise it's looking really nice. Everything's working quite well. The shade is a pretty good match for me. However, look, if you look at my forehead, all of my lines are super obvious. But yeah, so I'm really liking the foundation so far. I think the real test is how it wears throughout the day. Now it's a little warmer here than it normally is, so I don't know how my skin will react. So we shall see how the makeup holds up on me. On the rest of my face for concealer, I used my normal Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in C1. To powder my face, I used my Cotier Spun Powder in Translucent. As a contour, I used my e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit in Light. For my blush and highlight, I took this shade and this shade from the Revolution Sugar and Spice blush palette. For my eyes and eyebrows, I used my Completely Broken Revolution Redemption palette. This shade for my eyebrows and these two shades for my eyes. For mascara, I used the L'Oreal Miss Baby Roll mascara. For my lips, I used the Ciate Liquid Velvet in Swoon. And to be completely extra, I set my face with both MAC Prep and Prime and Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray. We're going to see now how this foundation holds up throughout the day. Guys, so it's check-in time. It's about 4:45, so I've had this foundation on for a good like five and a bit hours now. And it's quite hot here today actually. Sam and I just went on a walk and it's very hot. And I kind of see now why it's oil controlling, because even though it's quite like hot and sweaty outside, I don't see any oil coming through on my face. The foundation is holding up really well on my skin. I don't feel like I don't think it's settled like too badly into my lines any further. It started to settle a touch into my smile lines, but nothing too noticeable. It does look really nice. I feel like the shades only a touch dark on me, so I'm not too bothered by it. But the problem I have with it is it's not holding my makeup too well. I feel like my highlight has half gone, my blush has half gone, and my contour's all gone. So because I'm going out later, I'm going to have to top that up, so you might see it a bit more later. But I just don't feel like it holds other product very well. As you can see, my lipstick has changed. I now put on the Gosh Liquid Matte Lips in the red. But yeah, I just feel like it hasn't held any of the product that well, and that could be to do with the heat. I think I would try it out again possibly on another day. However, I don't feel like it held product that well before I went outside either. I don't know, I'm going to have to top up my product and I will let you guys know how it lasts later when I do a later check-in. Hi guys, so it's about 20 to 10, so I've had this foundation on for about 10 hours now, and I think in the heat it's held up really well. I feel like I'm not oily anywhere. I feel like it looks fairly good. I feel like the colours match me fairly well. I don't feel like it's oxidised at all today. It did lose quite a bit of product. I don't feel like the product lasts very well on it. I had to top all of this up a few hours ago, and even then it has faded quite a bit. But apart from that, I am really liking this foundation. It does look very natural and skin-like still. I feel like I have quite a bit of texture. You can see where I've worn my glasses here. But I feel like I have quite a bit of texture, and that is emphasised a bit with this foundation. However, otherwise, I do really like it, and I would recommend it to people with dry skin. I'd have to test it out on colder days as well to see how I like it then. But I don't feel like it's done badly on my skin at all today. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this review, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you like my videos, then you can subscribe to my channel down below. And if you press the notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.